just asking.
It is now.
Because you know what? Here's another thing too. Don't turn it off. Because I end interviews with people and then we have great discussion like after it's over. Like so just leave it on the whole
I'm also
time.
not good at editing clips of this and figuring that out.
I don't know how to at all, so.
Me neither.
I know I own the thing and I still don't know how, but.
Oh, I'm sure we will sort
discover.
that out. Sure we'll sort that out somehow.
Hello.
Hi Bertha, take a seat. So I'm Nicholas, Shannon, and where are you? Allison. So we have some questions to ask you, and we're going to record it, an audio tape and a video camera as well. For I guess Nicholas is putting a project together to try and share the Aboriginal perspective, especially in regards to education in residential schools. So I have a consent form. I'd like you I guess to look over, and we need you to sign 2 copies. One of them is for Nicholas, and one of them is for you to keep. Actually, I'm just looking. This is the same consent form that we signed to be
Oh yeah,
a part
yeah,
of
it is.
the project. So it just outlines the purpose of the study is to gain an Aboriginal perspective on history and of education in Canada. So I guess I just need you to sign on the second page by the I and then your name, and then the rest of it Nicholas will fill in later on. Sorry, did I give you a bad pen?
Or we can move it down and then we'll do it.
It's okay now.
Sometimes it just takes a little bit.
I can go from here and zoom in out.
So that's your copy. I will fill in the rest and hand that back to you, and then this will be Nicholas's copy. It's the same
No.
form.
I just think. That's good luck too.
What's the date today, girls?
8?
The
Today?
7th?
7?
Yes,
Seven,
it
yeah.
is the 7th.
7th. Okay.
Yeah.
So February 7th, 2013 already.
Wow.
I keep writing 2012 on
Me
everything.
too.
Yes, always for the first couple months afterwards.
Yeah. I love that it's months and I can't figure it out in like a week or 2.
Okay, so we are, just so you understand like where our perspective is coming from, we're all students in the Bachelor of Education program at the University of Ottawa from different backgrounds. I have my background in history, is what I'm interested in. So interested in gaining an Aboriginal perspective on education. And you're intermediate senior as well, right?
Yeah.
Shannon?
And my background is primarily in music, but history is my other teachable subject, and I'm also very interested in history, so yeah.
And I'm junior intermediate, so I'd like to work with grade 7, 8, 9, the formative years. Okay. I have a background in art history. I actually worked, I studied Aboriginal art was my area of focus, and Inuit art too, so I've worked with a lot of Native artists, and I just hope to continue in bringing more of Canadian culture into the history. That
Yeah,
we learn
absolutely.
about,
So we are like prospective teachers, and we want to draw in outside influences. I think it's important for you to know like a little bit about us, because then we are asking all these questions of you. So it's good to have a bit of a dialogue. So I have a few questions that we as a group have come up with, and we'll go through them, and then it's really just an opportunity for you to share your experiences. So I will kind of ask questions to guide the discussion, but at the end I just kind of have more kind of open questions for you to share some of your experiences yourself. So I guess my first question that I want to ask is just about any hobbies that you have. any interests that you like to engage with at all, if you'd like to share any of those with us, like sports or extracurricular activities or family related things or anything like that.
Well, since now I'm retired and I don't do as much anymore because I am not that well, and so I have to. Doctor doesn't take it easy now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to like bowling, and you know, and I used to be in a team bowling, and well, we used to play sandbags and darts, and you know, I like that, and I think my best pastime is studying my own language. It's a lot of thinking. You got to do a lot of thinking, and it's one of the best things. You know, I could do it alone. Like if I'm alone, I could do it, and even sometimes I need help, so I call my sister or my brothers. So you know, just to because I like it, you know, and it's something to do, and help the teachers and you know who are doing the language teaching, and I would like to make some books, but it seems like I never have time anymore. That's what I would have liked to do, but I don't know. It's hard, and I tried to type, and I have a hard time with that. My daughter showed me last night, but you know, it's not the same anymore with my life because if I sit too long in one position, I get so back. So you know, I can't spend too much time on typing.
Right.
Learning to type.
That happens to me even when I'm young too. So
yeah. And I used to, my husband and I, we used to like fishing. We fished, you know, all different places, and we like to travel, the two of us. Because I was lucky to meet my husband, because we're just about the same. We like the same music, same dance, and same food, and you know. And we got along, and when we go traveling, we never argued. We always got along, you know. And he used to ask me, "What do you want to do today?" Okay, this is what I like to do. Okay, let's do it. And next day, and then he says, "Let's do it." So you know, we just share. And my husband is gone. Has been, he died in 14 years already. He's going to be 14 years. So. Now I'm on my own. And well, I'm trying just to keep up with my health now. Trying to do my best.
I wanted to ask you just so we know where were you born, and I just wanted to know a little bit about your childhood or your family when you were growing up.
Well, I was born in right in this community by Paganok-Minmika. There's a little lake there, and that's where I was born. And I don't really remember my grandparents. And we were there, and it was quite a ways from the school when I started school. And we had a little farm, and well, I was too young to work at that time. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters, so it was a big family. We had a house, but it wasn't very big, but we managed to survive in that little house. Yeah, and we were pretty happy, you know. And then I hadn't. I went to the residential school. I went to school here. We used to call it Congo Bridge School. It's not too quite a ways. We had to walk every day, and then when I was about 12 years old, and I went to the residential school for 1 year, and that was some sort of experience. Right?
What year was that? Do you remember around the time you attended residential school?
I think it was 1946, 47.
46.
Yeah.
And could you tell me a little bit about that experience? Were you relatively young when you started attending the school?
Residential school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I was about 11 or 12 years old then. And I think my worst experience was just to go there. My father brought us to, we took a train here in Maniwaki, and it took about 4 hours, at them days, and it stopped in every town. And we got in Ottawa, and it seems like we had to stay there for the full day. And in the evening we got on, and we got on another train going to Spanish Ontario. It's about 400 or 500 miles away.
Okay.
And we got on the train, and then all of a sudden my dad starts, going, what's wrong? He says, I lost my ticket. And there's 3 of us, my 2 brothers and myself. And one of them ran away, the youngest one. He ran away when we were being picked up. He ran in the bush, so they couldn't get him. And then there was 3 of us, and I told my dad, well, what do you want to do? He says, I have to go and look around. I don't know where he dropped us. He left, and the train takes off. We didn't have anything. I don't know. We didn't have anything, and we just stay in the train. And I don't know where we were. I don't know if it's North Bay. We had to transfer, and we transferred. We got on the wrong train, and the conductor he had to help us, get us off, put us on another train. So I don't know, it seems like we had to ride all night because it was daytime now. We got in Spanish, so the train stopped and we got off. We have nothing, so we just got off, and we looked around. It's a good thing we spoke a little bit of English, and there was a man there, and we asked him, where's the school? So he says, oh, it's way over there, you gotta walk. So I think it was about maybe 2-3 kilometers we had to walk. We found a school, and we get there, and we told them, and we didn't have anything, and the Indian agent here told us we were going to be well taken care of. The Indian agent wasn't in charge, but there was nothing. So we get there, and I told him my name, and this is what happened, and that's why we're here, and so at least we were accepted. So that's one of the things, it's hard to forget. It's right up here. And so we stayed there about 9 or 10 months we had, for school, and my 2 brothers, I saw them once to get together just to talk to each other, and they had to sit way over there and me way over here, and we just look at each other, and we couldn't use our language. Our language was first language. We couldn't use it, so we had to try and speak to each other in English. So at least we were able, to talk to each other a little bit. Other than that, I never saw them. There's the boys' school on one side and the girls' school across the road.
Okay.
So that I used to look over there, see a bunch of boys playing around me. I'm looking over there, trying to locate my brothers, and I could never. So it was, and when they asked me, what grade are you in? I said grade 4. I should have said I finished grade 4, but I said grade 4, so they put me in grade 4, and that was the most dullest year I ever spent in school, because I had to relearn. I'm just sitting there, and they give me papers. I've done it before, I'm just looking out the window dreaming, and it was the only thing I learned over there is, well, they made me work. You know, I had to work on a hallway. I always had to clean it every day, and we used to wash the boys' clothing. I wasn't in a laundry room, but when they dry them, when there's boys' socks, we had to fix all the boys' socks. When there's a hole on them, we had to darn them. And I became a very good darner. I could darn those socks. I still do it today. And that's one thing the teacher told me. She said, "Oh, you're a very good darner. So your dad should be very proud of you whenever you go back." So it's nice. Now I see around here, nobody does that anymore. They throw away their socks. Yeah, I keep my socks for a long time because I darn them and when my father came and get us, it was in June, and June I guess it was, I think. Anyway, I remember him. We never came. Nobody ever came and see us in the family. And when he got there, I see him standing there, and Dad couldn't believe it. So it was him. So it was nice to see somebody picking you up for change.
Yeah.
Somebody from your community. Yeah.
Did you have any contact with? You said you didn't really get to see your brothers very much. Do you have any contact with your father or anyone else from your community while you were?
I wrote a letter to my dad, and he answered me once. That's about it. And he gave us a little bit of money, and I had a little bit of money, and they took it away from me, and I never had I never got money. They brought us in town one time, walking, from the teacher. We went with the teacher, and I didn't have no money. So I know I had a little bit of money, but never saw it again. And it was a pretty long year for me. And I couldn't use my language, and I see others, children, Ojibways, they're very close to my language, and we used to talk to each other, and we tried, but we had to hide. Very, very secretive. We had to be very secretive using our language. Even here, when I started school here, we couldn't use our language at school, and when we play outside, it's all bush all around, so we all run in the bush and we use our language. And we were forbidden to use our language. Yeah.
You mentioned a little bit about when you were in the schools, you were bored with the subject material because you've gone through it before, and also you had to do work cleaning the hallways and that. What were some of the things that you had to do at the school, like education related or tasks or chores that you had to do? What was the education like at the residential school?
As I said, it's the most boring year for me.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I really I liked is darning socks. I learned to do that, and cleaning the hallway, a little bit of cleaning. So that's about it. We never did anything else. Except going to church every morning, every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had to go to church all the time. Pray. And I had a little brother that was sick, and I used to pray for him every day. So when I got back, he was gone. Huh? I never heard anything. He died. So that's why I say it's the most boring year I ever spent. But some teachers were okay, because I saw a lot of strapping going on. A lot of strapping. Maybe they had it coming. I don't know. And her name was Miss Berrigan, and she was the strap lady. And when I saw her, she was sitting there, and I went to sit beside her. I told Miss Berrigan, I said, I'm here. It's not because I was bad. I am not bad. And she said, okay. And she never, I never got in trouble. Of course, I got in a fight a couple of times, but I never got punished for that. No, well, I told him, I says, she keeps bothering me, and I had to, fight back. So at least that, that's. But as I said, that's the worst trip, but it's a good experience because now I tell my children, well, my children are big now, they're in their 50s, and I told them, I says, okay, now when you travel, as long as you have a little bit of money and you're able to talk, you're going to be okay. That's what I tell my children, don't be scared. So that's because I went through the scary part, but I went through it. I was okay.
You mentioned a little bit about some of the teachers that were at the school. What was your perception of the teachers? Were they very strict, or how did they treat the students generally?
In my grade 4 class, I didn't see any strapping. I didn't see her strapping the children. But maybe she sent them to Miss Berrigan. I don't know. Yeah, Miss Berrigan was the strap lady because she didn't do it in the class. But I saw her doing it in the hallway or something.
So there was Miss Berry. Was she another teacher, or what was her?
I don't know if she was a teacher. I don't even know. She was there anyway. She was watching the kids, when we have a break, and she was there. And when you have a break, they used to pass a little lunch, a slice of bread and water. That's our lunch. Yeah. Once in a while, they give us a teaspoon of peanut butter. And I love peanut butter since that time. I still love it. Because peanut butter keeps you, strong for,
Sure.
Yeah, protein, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And, well, this, I guess I might as well tell you, I had somebody from Rapid Lake. This girl, I knew her. I had an idea they were sort of my cousins, but they were from another community in Rapid Lake. And I meet this girl. She's pretty big, I think she was a little older than me. And every time I meet her, that's all I smell is cow shit. We had cows.
Yeah.
We had horses. And it's all I smell is cow shit. Every time I meet her on the hallway or something, but we didn't really make friends because I never hardly saw her. So a few years ago, we were at the band office, and we were filling papers like this, for the residential school, whatever we had to do. And she was there, and so I filled my paper up, and she says, "Could you please help me?" And I fill out this form. "Hey, you went to school, Christine?" "Yeah." She said, "I went to school." "Well, you don't know how to fill that out." She said, "No." "So what happened?" She said, "You know what?" She says, "When I was in residential school," she said, I wasn't working in the stables all the time. And all I had to do is, look after the animals." And she says, and I asked one time if that I wanted to learn how to read. You know what they did to me? They put me in a dark room for 1 week. And that was a sad story for her. I don't know why they put her in the stables to work, and she didn't know how to read. So that's maybe 10, 15 years ago. I never knew that, but that's what she told me. Well, she's gone now. She died a few years ago. But I was very surprised. And my younger brother, he was he was 10, I think, 10 years old, and he was sexually abused, and he never said anything, never mentioned anything till just before he died. He told what happened at the school. He never told us anything. And my other brother, him too, my older brother, him too. He says when we go to bed at night, he says somebody comes around and touches the boys during the night, and we don't know who it is, and it's dark, and I don't know exactly who it was, and he says me, I just jump up from my bed, I run in the bathroom and stay there, and that's what he was telling me one time. So I think it was maybe worse for the boys than, because I didn't experience that, at least that, at the school, at the residential school. But it's, for the boys, and my nephew, he told me some stories. It wasn't nice. Anyway, try to forget that. I know.
What were your sleeping arrangements like? You had to sleep at the school?
Oh, yeah, we had a dormitory, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, there was beds all lined up. And then there was a certain room for 5-year-olds, I guess, whatever.
Okay.
So they had a different room. So I used to hear them crying at night. But to me, the bed was okay. It was clean, at least. My bed was always clean. But, there was a bathroom there. At least I didn't have to go outside.
How long did you attend the residential school? You were there for
1 year.
4th grade.
1 year.
So for 1 year.
Yeah, one school year.
And then what happened after you finished that school year?
We came back to around here, and we told my dad we didn't want to go back there.
Oh, okay.
So he believed us. So we didn't have to go back. Then I went back. Oh yeah. I went back over there, and I did my not here, but I went back to school, and I finished my grade 7. Then I got married. Then I had four lovely kids. Kept me busy. And after they got big enough, and I wanted to go to work, I told my husband, I said, I like to go to work because, we have to help each other, and we need money. I want a car. And he said, okay, so he helped me. So I went to adult ed. It was a fun year. I started from grade 1 to grade 11. Very fun year until I was about in grade 10. Then I started crying at our time. But I completed my grade 11. Not the highest mark, but my children were there, my sons, and I figured, well, I have to go to school because I have to teach them at home, Whenever they're stuck, I should be able to teach them. So I remember one time we were both crying, trying to, he was doing his math, and I was trying to help him, and oh my God, it was hard. And then I finished at high school. I got my, diploma, and then I started summer classes, learning about my language. It takes long. I had to study I took linguistics about the language, and I'm very happy I took that. And I went to school here and there in the summertime, and I was working. I already started working in school. I was in town where the children were going. There was no school yet here. And so I had to go to town, and I had to go in early because they can't make time for Algonquin language. So I had to go in at I think it was 7:30 when the school buses started coming in.
Yeah.
So I had to teach the native children starting from 8 o'clock to 8:30 because there was no room for us for native language in school. So that's what I did, and I kept going to school every summer, and then I don't know, I became, I thought, well, geez, I better go back to school. So I went to Ottawa U for 1 year. That was hard, very hard, and I got my B.Ed, and they told me, you could, why don't you try and get your master's? I said to the professor, if I try for my master's, I'll be putting my pension by that time. So at least I got my B.Ed for elementary teaching. So that helped a lot, with teaching language same time, dealing with the children, and yeah. So that's my life story.
You said you decided to go back and learn languages and teach that to students.
Mm-hmm.
So did you, this wasn't part of a school, you went in and taught students before the actual school day started? You taught them their native languages?
Oh, that's how I started teaching native language. Yeah.
And what made you decide to take that path and to teach students?
Well, I went to see I went to the employment office, and already they had asked me, we're going to start a native language, native language. So if you're interested, you could try it. So I went to see this gentleman at the employment office. I told him I got my grade 11 now, and I want a job, do something. So I told him I was offered a job to teach my language. He says, well, try it first. He says, he was really nice, and he says, try it. If you don't like it, come on back, I'll help you. So I stayed, teach the language.
Is there anything through your experience with education that you've learned, or any messages that you feel are important that you passed on to your children, or other things that you've picked up through your education that you value over other things?
Oh yeah, there's things that I learned, and I went to I remember one time the professor says, who's Catholic here? So I'm like this. And there's a few of us. So he says, there's going to be we're going to be attending the church. The priest is going to be there to talk to you. So, I didn't have too much respect for the priest neither, but I went anyway. But I guess they're not all the same. The one I had bad experience with one of them, and so we went to church, and but this priest was really good. He was really he talks, he was really good preacher, and because I saw some priests that came around here, they don't really understand, and what they're trying to say, and they're talking a lot, but this priest was really good. I forgot his name, and there's one thing that really stuck to my head, and he says, love yourself before you can love anybody else. So now it's in my head. Now when I go, sometimes I go somewhere, talk to the people, and that's what I tell them, especially our young people too. You gotta love yourself first before you can love other people. I thought that's still in my mind all the time.
Well, thanks very much. I appreciate talking to you. A lot of very interesting stories and a lot of good messages that I'm sure we'll take with us as well. So yeah, thanks very much, Bertha.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Okay, miigwech. Miigwech is thank you, not donkey.
I need to learn.
You can start with me right
I
now.
have time still.
So that's it.
Yeah, we had kind of questions, but really I prefer just talking in a discussion with you, and I think that was much better because just I feel it's better to have a discussion with someone rather than answering a set of questions.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I also went to the States. I stayed there for about 10 years. And
Really?
yeah, and that's where I had most of my kids. And I remember. Do you remember Smith Corona typewriters? A long time ago, Smith Corona typewriters.
No.
I was one of them that was making them.
Oh, okay. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a riveter, and I became real good there. And you can't even see those parts. You just have to feel them and rivet.
Oh, jeez.
That's a long time ago. And I did work in an automobile factory, and I used to put leads on the, on the motors for the wipers.
Right.
Yeah, I was there for 5 years. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I did a lot of things.
And did you enjoy those jobs?
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And
good.
I used to make candles. I used to work in the candle factory.
Sure,
and,
yeah.
So I enjoy-
Interesting. So then what made you decide to come back here after you were working those jobs?
Oh, because I had too many kids.
Ah.
And trying to raise them in the city is the hardest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I didn't have I had a good babysitter, and then my babysitter got married, and no more babysitter, so I had to quit my job. And I felt real bad, and then my husband and I said, well, I can't work, and you get sick. You get sick. He used to get sick easy. He gets a cold, he gets sick easy.
Yeah.
I says, you take a week off when you get sick, and then we're way back with our rent and everything,
Yeah.
So I said, and then we decided 24 hours, we decided, let's go home. Let's go back to Maniwaki, at least there. He says, I'll go hunting, and we're not going to starve, not like in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we came back. So he was a good trapper. He was a good hunter, trapper, and he used to provide our foods and everything. And he was only, he never went to school. He had a grade 2 education.
Mm-hmm.
And he went and take a carpenter course, and he made a lot of houses in the res, and he made the high school in the high school part.
Yeah.
This school here, it's him built a high.
Really?
Yeah, grade 2 education. Imagine.
Wow.
He was really a really smart man.
So you decided to come back because the city was
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, too much. Try and raise my children. They're all almost only a year apart. 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard.
When you came back, was there like a sense of a community that you could kind of felt it was easier to
Oh, yeah.
raise your,
Oh yeah. My children were able to run around, in the bush, but I had to restrain them all the time. Don't go too far in the bush. There's bears out there.
Yeah.
But they were happy. They were able to. They were free, not like in the city. Ooh, it was hard. Yeah, my daughter ran away one time. She was just, starting to walk, and she ran away. And it's the building. She got lost. I don't know what she was doing, playing, and then she went right on in the city, a boulevard, and it was busy.
Oh.
And he ran, and all of a sudden somebody comes along and tells me, Peggy's gone. She's gone. I don't know where she's gone. And the other bigger ones. Oh my God! And we started running all over, and somebody ran to the boulevard, and they found her over there. She was already. Somebody was talking to her and asking her, well, what was she doing in busy traffic all by herself?
Jeez.
She was only about 3 years old. See, that's how hard it is when you're in the city. Yeah.
Bertha, do you have any advice for us as future teachers?
Future teachers.
From one teacher to 3 others. Anything you think we should know? Or?
Well, you learn a lot when you go into school, but sometimes it doesn't work. I remember one little boy, K4 I think he was, or K5. Anyway, he was, was he a little bully, eh? He was pushing the kids around, and he was big, and so I wrote a letter to the parent. Can you help me? Try and settle, him a little bit, so he doesn't, fight the kids at school. So right away it became all better. Everything. She was good, and the teachers they tell you, when they're doing good, you write back. Tell the parents that your son's doing real good. So I wrote back, and I guess the parent and the father didn't read the letter. He came back at school and he told me all kinds of things, scare all the kids. All the kids were all around me. He said, "Don't you ever write to me again." I guess he didn't read the paper. Then when I told him, thank you for,
So you had written saying a nice thing
Yeah.
about, and the dad thought it was something.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to be careful with the parents.
Yes.
Make sure they
I
understand.
feel like that's something that progresses through every generation. Be careful what you say to the parents. Yeah. But that's good. Yeah, we're always told to make sure you always say nice things about the students as well, rather than just negative things.
Yeah.
Spread the relationship.
And I guess teach, especially the native children, teach their try and show them that culture. They need that culture, and it's something that they need for their self-esteem. Because especially if you look like a Anishinaabe, what Anishinaabe is, a native, and I know you. It's a little bit hard. So at least because I read some history books at school. I went to Kanawagi to go to school, and it's a school, and they send us in a classroom, and he says go and read the history books. You're gonna find out. Okay, I went, and one history book. It wasn't very nice about Native people. It didn't take me long. It's an Indian school, and yet they have those books in there. It wasn't very nice. So I'm sure there must be books around yet that's not too nice. So I guess I guess every nationality is like that. You try to bring their self-esteem up. You don't put them down. No matter if it's rich or poor.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's all right.
Is Judy not?
No, she's not in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Well, you certainly present a very good role model for a lot of these younger students, I'm sure, and thanks very much for sharing your insight with us, because we're always trying to look for including different perspectives, because as you say, a lot of times the books don't tell it the way it is, or don't justify things. So it's always good to get the other perspectives as well. So thanks.
I'm sure there's going to be I'm sure they're going to change the history books, because we were I could sit here and tell you a lot of stuff, but we only got a certain time. We did a lot of good things. We're not as bad as we were projected on the books. So, thanks
very much.
Thank you very much.
Is it Miigwech?
Miigwech, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
So I think Nicholas is out here. We should be able to find him and see what's going on next. Was this one on as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could have put it right there, right? Doesn't
It's
matter.
okay. This one's right. It was right here the whole time.
Okay, so should I go with Bertha,
I think
or
so.
I'll be back in 1 second.
Okay.